Okay, welcome everyone to Tech 20 Tuesday. It's 3:40. We'll start right on time. I want to thank Mary Jo McRae and Jeff Holder for they're going to be presenting on PowerSchool today. So, no further ado, I'm going to let Mary Jo take over.
Okay, great. We are just going to do a general overview of Power Teacher today and some of the features. And next week we'll go into more detail around gradebook and entering grades. So just to do an overview of Power Teacher, I did send out the URL for Power Teacher, but just for your reference, it is linked on the home page of the portal. So if you were to click on the Data Connect Student Information System, that will take you to a website where we are posting lots of resources and information. When we get questions from people about Power Teacher or Gradebook, we post them up here. So again, adding assignments, managing grades, logging in, all kinds of resources that are related to both Gradebook and Power Teacher. And also on this website is a frequently asked questions. So you can email your questions to dataconnect.nbed.nb.ca and post them, and we'll answer them here on the frequently asked questions. There will be more videos coming to the site, but right now we do not have scrambled data. So to protect students' privacy, there are some walkthroughs, but you would have to sign in here with your NBED credentials. As soon as, and we should have that for next Monday, that we have data that isn't real student names and information, we will replace these videos with protected videos. So again, this is all linked on the home page of the portal. Today, I'm going to be logging on to a test server, so the URL will be different than where you normally go. And just a reminder, in signing in, there is no NBED /, because I know that was causing some people problems. And also, you're using your NBED username and your NBED password to log in. I'm just going to sign in. And I am going to switch first to the Gagetown School, or our pretend Gagetown School. And this is the first home page that you'll see of Power Teacher. And we recommend that the best practice for daily attendance is to click on the single chair. Attendance is taken in Power Teacher, not in Gradebook. So if you've been into Gradebook and you've clicked on the attendance arrow there, it is just taking you back to Power Teacher. Power Teacher will work from home, but you need to use your teacher laptop and be logged into Power Teacher for Gradebook to work. So it will be very important to come to Power Teacher first. We have had some people encounter challenges trying to just click on the Gradebook icon on their desktop. And so Power Teacher first, then go to Gradebook. If I'm taking attendance on a single day, for K-8 teachers, I only need to take attendance at the level of the homeroom, and that is the only attendance that will be reported on the report card. Some middle schools do ask their teachers to take subject attendance, and I'll leave that up to your school administration to let you know which schools that is. And some teachers like to take subject attendance. Maybe if you're a specialist teacher, you'd like to keep track of that attendance. You can do so, and it is available, but it's not required, and it will not be reported on the report card. If I click on the single chair, I have some students here, and by default, everybody is present. So if there's nobody away, the only thing I have to do is click Submit. I take my morning attendance for a K-8 school, and in the afternoon after lunch, if there's a change in anybody's attendance, I can make the adjustment. So maybe somebody's away in the afternoon with an excused absence, and I can also add a comment. Mom picked up. So again, if nothing changes between AM and PM, K-8 teachers do not have to do a second submit of attendance. We're going to touch on the high schools after this. There is also the option of changing attendance. So maybe I had Jed as unexcused because I don't know where he is, and I need to change it the next day. I can change the date, or maybe a student's parent called and they're going to be away on Friday. I can go to the next date and change it. So it is possible to move through the dates. You can see here I have a green ball. That shows me that I have successfully submitted attendance. If I forgot to click submit and left the page, the light would not change. I can also go to multi-day attendance. So if I have students away for a range of time, it is possible to go in and put in attendance for later dates and times. So I can add an attendance code. These can also be added at the office. So if you did have a student who was going to be away for 5 days, it is probably most efficient for the office to add it and put a single comment code. There is also a seating chart view. So it is possible, if you prefer, I know some of the schools are starting to get their pictures back from Harvey's, and those can be imported into PowerSchool. You can ask for assistance through a help desk call, and one of the specialists will help you. So you could choose to place your students in a seating plan and take attendance from their picture. So that's also an option. If you have all your students in, you can use the random selector. Now that isn't going to work for me right now because I don't have real students here, but if you had all your students and you click select, it will go randomly through bringing up one child's picture, and you could call upon them or ask them to be the helper today. So that's an option. And you also have a seating chart design. So you could create a seating chart. You can put them in alphabetically, alternate male, female, or just randomly place them in. And so again, I can drag the students around. I could add my teacher desk. I can put them in rows. So there's lots of features you can do here, and then save them by name. So those are some of the seating plans, and they're all used for taking attendance. So here we have the 3 attendants. We do not use the meal module. The next one that you'll want to see is the backpack. And the backpack is where you're going to get access to all the other screens related to your students. So I can see here that I have a homeroom class, and I also teach 2 English language arts and a math. So I can move between my different classes right here. I'm going to go back here to my homeroom. And again, if I choose a student, that gives me access to their schedule and the various screens related to the students. So I can go through Quick Lookup is a common screen that would take me to the schedule and information. As information is entered for the students, absences, tardies, total absences, they would all start to appear here. So that's via homeroom or any subject, and then you can select screens. You could go to the student photo. You could see their demographics in the office. And again, this is a fake student, so we just have limited data, but that would take you. When the student data collection forms come back that were sent home with students, all the information entered at the office will be available to you, the classroom teacher, through these pull-down screens for each student. Some of these do not come in effect this year. The graduation plan progress will be implemented next year. I can look at my students' attendance. When parents are added to the system, I will also be able to look for net access. So I'll be able to see when parents and students sign in. So that'll be an option there. There will be reports made available to teachers. And as they more become available, it is through this screen that you'll be able to print reports for your class. The report cards, when they are available, will also be made available here. So that's another feature in there. And again, for the recommendations and schedule are going to relate more to the high school. Student photos will be imported here. So there's more screens that we will cover in greater detail as we go forward. I'm just going to go back to Power Teacher Home. I can do that by clicking on Power Teacher from any screen. This is the PLP indicator, this sign right here. So if I click here, if the resource teacher in the school has put a PLP alert on a student, I will see their name here. There's a check mark and the resource teacher can add a comment. If I, in my class with my student, and this is homeroom, so I probably wouldn't do it here, but I'll give an example. If I needed to individualize or modify their work, it might be both, it might be just one, I would add that check mark and submit. Now, if I choose to put a modification indicator, that will be displayed on the report card. So when a grade is assigned at the high school level or the strands are assessed at K to 8, in addition to those indicators, there will be an M or an I or both if the classroom teacher has elected to add these there. It is important that if you're indicating that you're individualizing or modifying, that you work with the resource teacher in your school to determine that that is also covered in the PLP or the SEP. So it still is important to document that information. I'm going to go back to home. I'm just going to go now into my English Language Arts class. And again, I don't need to take attendance at this level, but I would have an option to. The attendance codes are shown here, so a teacher may choose to put that in. If the office takes attendance or adds a comment, I will not be able to change it. So the office, if they get a safe arrival call or a call that mom is coming to pick up Matthew at 10 o'clock, they can add that indicator in here. Your teaching schedule will be available here, so you can click on it and see it. The staff directory was imported from WinSchool, and again, if there's any incorrect data there, it can be corrected with a help desk call. Change password is disabled here. We do want you to do your password changing via the logon of your computer through the portal. So this is not running here, even though it is the same password. If you change your password on the portal or when you log on or in your email, it will automatically change in PowerTeacher. If you're doing a lot of work and you want to be working on students' final grades or you want to be looking at everybody's demographics, you can choose a default screen that you always want to open up for the students. This link here to Gradebook is really just information about Gradebook. It's probably not your best place to launch it, but what is really good is there are video demonstrations that explain Gradebook, and they're also hyperlinked on the Data Connect site, and there's some other information. I think you'll find that a lot of the information here we have pulled out of here for your benefit and placed on Data Connect. So we've created hyperlinked documents with the links to all the videos that talk about different ways to use Gradebook. So I'm just draw that to your attention. Reports, again, as more are available, they will be here. Recommendations is for high school for making recommendations to courses, and NB reports are the custom reports we are building. These are the reports that would have come out this weekend and been launched on Monday. So again, for high school teachers, there is the homeroom students period attendance. This would be for schools where students are having both homeroom attendance and period attendance. You can run a report so that the homeroom teacher can see a student's attendance throughout the day in the different periods. There's a student medical summary. So again, you can have a summary of students with medical plans. So as medical alerts are added to students, there's a report here. There's a student medical emergency, and again listing the classroom students with medical conditions to make teachers aware, and the student birthday report. And again, this is one that will sort students for birth dates so that you'll know when a student's birthday is. Certainly, too, another great way to know when a student's birthday is coming up is when you are on your attendance screen where the alerts appear, there'll be a birthday candle there as soon on the week of a student's birthday. So that'll be a reminder too that that'll be a day to watch for. So that's a feature there, but you can also run a birthday report. I'll just switch now to the high school. And so in the high school have attendance period, and they'll take attendance there. The homeroom teacher will then be able to monitor the attendance of all of their students. They will have the chairs for all of the classes that they teach, so they will also be taking period attendance, which will be indicated on the report card. Here's an example where we have an alert. So Brandon has a medical alert that has been set by the office. So I can see he has emergency medical plan, a diabetes management plan, and this alert never expires. So I'm made aware when I'm looking here that there is an alert. Linda has another alert and she walks home every day. So we would have guardian alerts, custody alerts, medical alerts, and birthday alerts, and the school can use other alerts for this feature. The only alert that isn't appearing here is the custom alert for New Brunswick, which was the PLP alert. Again, for the high school, the codes vary slightly here because the high schools are taking period attendance. So they're not seeing the AM, PM attendance codes, they're just seeing the codes for the period attendance. The office also has access to additional codes. So if I'm going here to the codes that the office sees, I'll just switch here. So the office can take additional codes and they can add them in. We'll leave it to the discretion of schools to determine if certain codes they'd rather have controlled by the office or controlled by the classroom teacher. And that is a general overview of PowerTeacher. I would draw your attention here to the help. PowerTeacher has excellent help, and what it does too is if I'm on a given screen, so right now I'm on attendance, so the window that will open when I click on help will be all about attendance. So if I'm on the daily bulletin and I do help, it'll be about daily bulletin. And there's a lot of good information here. It's hyperlinked, and I can also do a topic lookup for the help. And I can do an A to Z lookup for the help. I can also do a general search through the help database. So help is a really good resource here. Just to finish with a couple of minutes, and we'll go into more detail on this when we do gradebook next Tuesday. But again, if you are going to launch your gradebook, you want to be signed in to PowerTeacher. If you want to have the desktop icon, you're going to have to go through the installer process, and it'll walk you through step by step. And then for the very first time, come in and click on this launch button. And that will enable your desktop icon. I prefer just to launch from the launch button. I've run the installer once, and then each time I come in, I just launch my gradebook. I don't find one any faster than the other. So it really is a preference and a choice, but just remember, if you're at home, PowerTeacher first, gradebook second. So I see we have about 1 minute, and that is our 20-minute range. So I would be happy to answer questions if people want to stay on. I know Mark will want to end his recording in the 20-minute range, or if you would like to send us questions via the Data Connect site, we'd be certainly happy to answer them in writing. So that's where we'll wrap here today.